On the scale of 1 to 10, what would you say your level is for communication? 10 being the best, 1 being the least. And how does communication fare in your relationships? Are you very communicative or are you more of the silent type? That's what we're going to talk about today, so let's get into it. Good evening, wives. I'm wondering what your communication looks like in your relationship. I think communication is one of the most pivotal, or I would say cornerstones of a successful marriage. And I think that's one of the areas that we tend to fall short. The reason being is because I think that a lot of times we expect our husbands to kind of know what we're feeling, know what we're thinking, and then as a result of that, we don't communicate some of the things that we're feeling or thinking, and then we fault them or we complain because they don't know what we're feeling or thinking. So it's quite a conundrum, and I just think that this is one of the areas that we can do much better in. What is it to communicate? What's wrong? Why can't we say what's on our minds or what's in our hearts? Now, I would tell you personally, I am more of a quiet type. I will say something one time and then I will give you a chance to make some adjustments, make some changes. And then at that point, I will say, okay, well, I guess it's just not something that you want to do. Like, I don't want to be considered a nagging woman or a woman that's constantly reminding you of the things that I want or what I'm saying. Like, I don't feel like I should have to say it so many times. And I think that a lot of women out there are like that. And while that is true, we should not have to repeat ourselves. To a certain degree, we do have to repeat ourselves. Because whenever we're learning anything new, it is from the process of repetition that we learn that thing. We cannot think that we'll say something one time and that should have been enough. So then, therefore, if you loved me, or if what I said was important, or if, then you would do it and I wouldn't have to repeat myself. I think that's the logic and the thinking behind it. But what I've had to learn in my marriage is that repetition is key. I should be willing to restate my requests or restate what I want many different ways, in different situations, in different circumstances, gentle, kind reminders, or maybe even just, hey, remember we talked about this, you said you were going to be working on XYZ. I think when I say communication, it's not just simply communicating the concept of, I want this to change. I want you to do this. I prefer that. I want so on and so forth. But it's also, hey, remember we talked about this. You said you were going to do XYZ. I don't really see any changes. Or, hey, have you been working on what we talked about, what we discussed? And then that could be a way of reminding. Or sometimes you could ask in a different way where you say, hey, so how is that thing going? How is the work been? Do you think like you've made a lot of progress in, trying to clean up after yourself? Do you notice a difference in, the cleanliness of the home? Do you notice the difference? You could ask questions that kind of suggest or kind of gently remind him that, hey, this is what you said you were going to do, and we need to see progress in you doing it. And I think that communication has so many things within that realm that you can do without having to be so attitudey or in your face about it. Well, I mean, you said you was going to do this, and it doesn't have to go straight to attitude and straight to in your face. It could just be gentle, kind reminders, and that's what femininity is all about. Learning to have a soft approach to the things that you want, even if you're repeating yourself, even if you're reminding them. And again, I know that you feel like if he loved me or if he thought it was important, he would remember. Yes, those things are true. Those things are actually true. But what would you rather? You'd rather sit back and wait quietly, seething inside, upset with yourself, upset with him, determining in your head, oh, I see. Oh, okay, I see what you're not gonna, okay, watch. And then you're making a decision in your mind as far as what you're not going to do, what you ain't, oh, okay, I'm going to show you. Like, why? Why is that the approach? Why is that our natural gravitational pull? Why do we naturally want to go in the sense where we're about to one up you, we're about to show you, we're gonna, I'm gonna teach you, why? That should not be how we talk to our husbands and our spouses. We should have the most gentle, the more gentle approach, the kinder approach, the tap your shoulder, hey, just this is just a reminder. So again, it's all about communication, and communicating can mean communicating what you want and also how you're communicating that reminder. It doesn't have to be coarse or harsh. It can be simple, gentle reminders. And for us ladies, we have to remember that you can get more with sugar than with honey. So let's bring out those sweet words, those sweet gestures. Let's remember everything we know about men. They like our feminine energy. They like our gentle touches. They like our kisses and hugs. They like our soft words. So let's give them those things so that we can get more of what we want as well. And when you have those two things happening, then you can find a couple that's happier with each other, more in love than out of love with each other. So that's what I want to share with you today about communication, but there's other aspects of communication that I would like to speak on. It will just be in another video. So for now, this is your wife coach April Lee, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.